Hi, I'm Cindy Caldwell, the Happiness Queen, and we're continuing our discussion regarding fear. The month of April, our theme has been fear, and last week I discussed and I introduced you to the acronym for fear, false evidence appearing real. So what is fear? It's really false evidence, meaning something that's not true, but it appears real, or it's in our imagination. So after last week, we kind of left it with the conclusion that our fears are simply in our imagination. And okay, that's cool. Our fears are in our imagination. But the next step I want to discuss today are those feelings of fear that we have in our body. Because even though you understand that fears in your imagination, that's a good intellectual thing to know, but it doesn't help you to deal with those fears, those feelings, I should say, that well up in your body when you're afraid of something. And I'm not discussing the type of fear that you should have and that you do need to react to if somebody's chasing you down the street demanding your wallet or something. Yeah, you probably need to have some feelings of fear and you need to react. We're not discussing that type of potential physical harm to you. We're discussing the types of fears that live within each one of us, that really are in our imagination, that really aren't real, except for the stories that we give them. And the two most common types of fear are the fear of failure and the fear of abandonment. But other common fears are the fear of failure, well, I just said fear of failure, embarrassment, humiliation, and even the fear of success actually stops so many people from living the life of their dreams and living up to their potential. So let's now discuss about those feelings and how you overcome those feelings that live within your body. Because when you're getting that signal, danger, danger, Will Rogers, it's kind of hard to step into that and say, well, no, it's not. Well, yes, they are there. So the best thing to do is acknowledge them and begin to work around them. So when you hear yourself saying to yourself, I couldn't do that, start to ask yourself, well, why? Why couldn't I do that? And ask yourself, and it could be something as simple as maybe you simply at this juncture in your life don't have the skills necessary to do something. Maybe you need more knowledge. So possibly pursuing an education or furthering your education on that topic is an option. Maybe it's simply reading a book or two or three, whatever's necessary to reinforce that knowledge and to build that information within you that's necessary. Maybe it's talking to an expert or people that you know in the field or about that topic that can help you and educate you. So ask yourself, why? Why couldn't you do that? But if the result is, or the answer to that question of why is, well, what if I fail? What if I'm embarrassed? What if I fall on my face and I humiliate myself? Those are the feelings of fear that reside in your body that really aren't real. So you can also recognize that when you feel those feelings, the rapid heartbeat, the butterflies in your stomach, sometimes our throats get constricted or tightened. If you've ever had to speak in public, maybe before you've done it, if you are actually going to step out onto a stage and speak to a group of people, maybe you've felt that feeling in your throat that it's hard to swallow. Those are just nerves. Those are the feelings that our body is sending us. Those are signals of fear. But know, too, that when your body is sending you those signals, you're ready to step outside your comfort zone. And I'm holding my hands this way because I often explain our comfort zone to people that we all live within this box. And this box that we each live within is our comfort zone. It's really our world as we know it and where we're obviously comfortable at. So when you start to feel those feelings, you know you're stretching the bounds of your comfort zone. You're starting to get into territory that you're not completely familiar with. And those feelings, we have been programmed with those feelings associated with various types of fears. Because when we were children, It was our parents or our caregivers or other influential people in our lives that said something to us, maybe did something to us, whatever, at a very impressionable age, that planted a seed that told us we don't want to go there anymore. Or if, like my mother would often say to me, Cindy, be careful, you don't want to get hurt. And if I heard that often enough, which I tended to hear often enough, then in my life, my challenge is often stepping into dangerous territory, so to speak. I'm not talking about stepping on live electrical wires or something. I'm talking about the types of things I'm trying to explain today. The simple things I really have no reason to be afraid of, except for those little seeds that were planted in my mind, in my subconscious when I was a child. And that's my challenge now in life, is to step beyond those seeds that were planted, beyond those feelings I now feel in my body, and expand my comfort zone. And that's your challenge too. So when you have dreams for your life, you have this vision for your life of the things that you want to achieve in order to live your life to the fullest, to have the life that you dream of. Yet in order to have that life and to achieve those wonderful things in your life, it's going to require you to step into those fears. So recognize when you're reaching the bounds of your comfort zone, recognize those feelings that are within your body are simply false signals. Those are the false evidence that appear real, that feel real. False evidence feeling real could be our new acronym. But it takes courage to step out of your comfort zone. And courage is the next challenge I want to place before you. Because until you muster the little seeds of courage that allow you to step out of your comfort zone just a little. I'm not talking about huge steps. I'm talking about like dabbing in your toe in the water, dabbling your toe in the water. Just get wet a little bit. You don't have to dive in. Just kind of get your toes wet a little bit and jump back and be comfortable if you need to. And jump back again. Dabble your toes in the water, get a little wet, and jump back again. If that's what it takes for you to build your courage, that's fine. But you need to find the courage to put your toes in the water, to do that thing you're fearful of. Do the piece of it you're prepared to do today that scares you just a little bit, but you really know you can do it. So muster the courage, dabble your toes in the water, do that thing you know you're prepared to do today. And that's where joy and happiness reside in your life. Because I want to emphasize at this point, and this is so critical, it almost makes me want to cry when I say this, because if you don't dabble your toes in the water, if you don't find that courage that's so important, you will never find the joy and happiness that is waiting for you to conquer your fears. See, I get emotional talking about this because it's so important for me to live the life I want to live. And it's so important for you. I don't want this life to get by you without you having dabbled your toes in the water. Find the courage that you need to find in order to experience the joy and happiness that's waiting for you in your life. Fear, false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's in your imagination. You need to ask yourself, why am I afraid? What scares me? Know that your fears are simply stepping outside of your comfort zone, that you need to find the little elements of courage to build your courage, to expand your comfort zone, and find the joy and the happiness that is waiting for you. I'm Cindy Caldwell, the Happiness Queen.